What up? It's your boy Sky. Welcome to another episode of Sippin with Sky. And we're about to meet up with my boy, Brandon Harris, local entrepreneur, doing it up. We over here at Re-Up Shop, his barbershop. We're going to get lined up. We're going to talk business. Hell, yo. Good to have you on, brother.
Thank you. Been a long time coming.
Oh, yeah, man. Seen you moving around Oxnard for a long time, bro. So you've been born and raised in Oxnard your whole life, right?
Yeah, I've been here all my life, outside of town. And then when I got this barbershop in 2014, I just kind of been more on the north side.
It seems like ever since you were a kid, you always had the entrepreneur bug.
Yeah, I was in the music scene for a while, and then I was in the clothing scene for a while. We had a streetwear brand called Dope Style.
Yeah, I remember that.
And now I'm in the barber game. And I've been doing that ever since.
And now you're doing promotions as well. You had that huge successful sellout for the sneaker convention that you did.
Yes, that was my first time doing it. It was a pretty big success. So next year, we got some things coming. Hopefully get Happy Place on board and get you guys going.
Was that Barber battle or something that you did?
Yeah, so that started in 2015, I believe. I started doing those. I think I did around 4 of them around here. I was the first one in Ventura County to bring the barber battles. The first one I hosted here, the shop, and it kind of grew. So that's how I started booking bigger venues, and then we just went from there.
And it's like it's dope how it's like you're seeing stuff happen before it even happens.
Yeah, I mean, you try to being in the business, and as well, like you want to jump on something before it's a trend. And once it's a trend, you're just trying to outdo the other person, but you don't want to have things where it's competition.
It's funny because even when at Happy Place, we started that delivery service before anybody was doing it.
Yes.
Right? And that's what really helped us out in our success. So speaking of delivery, it looks like we got a little tequila coming in right now. What's up, bro? What's up, Big Will? How you doing, man? Good to see you. Heard you got a little delivery for us, man.
Yeah, a little one.
Yeah. All right. So, because you're one of our OG Oxnard entrepreneurs, I had to bring out the world famous Alquimia tequila, which is owned by a local Oxnard, Ventura County resident. Have you had this?
For a five.
Ooh, yeah. I love it when I get to share all mass tequila with my boys.
This is right. That's too long, right? We get.
Hell yeah.
That's local?
Yeah, locally owned.
I'm not too. I mean, there's some people who are like really tequila purists, and they taste all the stuff, and I don't like any additives in there.
Yeah.
But I mean, I like some of the stuff. I like buying expensive bottles. I'm a big on collecting and presentation.
Oh yeah.
So, the Casa Azul and stuff like that. I like those, the different bottles and stuff. But a lot of people are like additive free and stuff like that. But I'm not like that. I'm not a tequila Nazi.
Yeah, I like the way you put that, tequila Nazi, because you see a lot of these guys out there just bashing all these brands and people coming up with tequila, you know what I mean?
I'm not trying to I don't like to bash them, but there's a lot of people who like, you buy this expensive bottle and this and that, but I like the presentation. What
was your very first business that you got started? Was it the Re-Up? No, you did. The first was the clothing line.
Clothing line. I was a partner in that. We opened up a store, and I helped manage that for like a year. And
so you guys actually had a physical location where you sold?
It was like a flagship store basically. We carried other brands also. So one of the first boutique stores in Oxnard. We sold underground streetwear and stuff like that.
What would you say the biggest thing that you learned from that business that carries on to what you're doing today?
Utilizing your space, location, marketing, inventory, knowing the logistics, counting your money. Like one thing someone told me when I didn't know, like you have a space, a big space in your building, and you're paying per square foot. So if you're looking at a space and you have a bunch of empty space, you're losing money.
Yes, opportunity cost.
I started noticing when I first got a barbershop, while I was going to get a barbershop, I noticed a lot of them were narrow. If you get a square, you have dead space in the middle. Click.
It made a lot of sense.
It made a lot of sense, Even when I go in your liquor store, there's not a lot of room. I look in there, there's product, because every square foot needs to generate money, or you're wasting that money.
Yep. That's definitely a good tip for anybody who's an entrepreneur, wants to be an entrepreneur. Write that one down. So how did you get into the barber trade? Tell it how it is. Tell it how it is. We know PG-13 show.
Yeah,
here.
so basically, before barbering, I was doing the music thing and selling and doing clothes and stuff like that. So I was into that scene. I got kind of caught up and caught a case. I went to jail for almost about a year.
Damn.
So when I was in jail, kind of, there was nothing really to do. I was like writing raps or trying to do stuff, thinking about stuff I was gonna do when I got out. And then there, we were kind of bored, and we had to go to court and stuff like that. Didn't have any clippers. My cellmate, he was basically a veteran. A guy who's been in there for a while. He started cutting my hair with just put a razor on a welfare razor on our comb, and he started cutting my hair. So then it was my turn to cut his hair. So that's when I started learning. So when I got out, I'm thinking like, man, like I have a criminal record now. What am I gonna do? I'm used to hustling or having regular jobs, and like when you can just go to any job if you don't have a criminal record. So I'm like, what am I gonna do now? The jobs are not gonna be as easy. So I thought like maybe I should just try to go barber school. I go to barbershops all the time. I know different barbers, so I went to school and I started cutting hair. I didn't really know how to cut hair, just the way I learned in jail, and it was hard because I was already an adult, and usually a lot of people when they start cutting hair, they're younger. So you're younger, and they let you cut their hair from high school or whatever because they don't have money. When you're adult, usually someone else has their barber already. So it was hard for me trying to get in there and
establish yourself,
establish myself, because all my friends were adults and they already had their own barber. So I started going to barber school and just grinded it out, and took me like about 3 years, and then I went from another shop to another shop. And once I started getting like in a groove and building my clientele, we already discussed, I was already kind of business savvy. So I was like, I could do this by myself. Like I already see whatever this guy's doing here, I could do something and do it better. So I started saving my money, and then started looking for spots. And then and I was always eyeing this spot right here. And I was like, man, this probably be there's no
barbershops around, and so much traffic right there. It's funny.
And traffic. And I always learn as if you want a business owner, wherever you want traffic for your business, go by a liquor store. So liquor store gets business all the time. So I was like, man, it's right in front of a Circle K. So I talked to the landlords and got the lease going, and I've been here ever since. It's been 8 years.
8 years, yeah. That's been a minute. I mean, to go from like the experience that you went through, learning a new trade, while you're there, spending your time for what you've done, coming out, working in the industry, and now having your own barbershop.
Yeah.
How does it feel?
With me, like even with business with you, like same thing. You go to your liquor store, and you're like, man, I started doing this, and you start growing, but then you cap out at a certain thing. Now I'm ready, and I'm blessed, and I'm thankful for it. I'm ready for the next step to keep going. You're like, I don't want to stay in the same place, stagnant. You want to keep growing and evolve. There's only so much. There's only so much at a level you can go to each place. Once you reach a level and you peak and you plateau, you got to go on to the next thing.
The thing is number one, you're a hardworking entrepreneur, right? You're out of the box thinker, right? You understand how important marketing is. I think people need to realize marketing is so important. That's where they slip up. They may have a great product, but they don't know how to present it.
That's the biggest thing, like for marketing too, it was hard for me choosing different things because I had so many ideas, but things that helped me was reading a lot of books. I think it was the 18 Laws of Marketing, and I read Contagious, and a lot of those books helped me to think outside the box. And a lot of people don't understand. They think, let me do an Instagram post, or let me do this, or make a flyer. But marketing is not a product, it's psychology.
Yeah.
So, what you look at McDonald's and all these certain things, they don't just go, oh, I'm gonna make a logo. They look at different colors that come and get to your head, and it's all it is you have to brainwash somebody and catch their eye. It's not just making a picture or doing certain things. It's all psychology. You have to get something that clicks, because you can have a crappy product. Like I always tell like young barbers that come in here now, because social media has them thinking a lot of wrong ways. They think like, I'm gonna go here and spend 2 hours on a haircut, take a picture, and I'm gonna get clients. I tell them no, like I don't plan to, like they always like look at me and they're like, oh, you're always busy, you're always booked. I'm booked because I'm consistent, and it's not because I give the best haircut. I don't want to be the best barber on there. I want to be the most consistent, and I want to be the most reliable. You know, that's how you get clients. You don't want to just go and have a pretty product, because Five Guys is $27, McDonald's is $5. Which one is more busy? Five Guys has a better product, but what is more reliable, more affordable, what's more consistent? Which one can you go to all the time? You know, and that's why I try to teach them. They're always caught up in being the best, not being the best. There's ways to get people. It's like customer service. Like, if a person comes through the door, the first time I ever cut their hair, I listen to what they're saying. Yep. I don't really, the haircut is nothing. When they come back, they're gonna be like, oh, I'll tell them, how was your weekend? Did you go, you told me you're going to the club, you're going to this part. And they're like, oh, you remember?
Yeah. That's an experience, right?
Experience. They go for the experience, not their actual haircut. Any barber can give a good haircut. What separates you from other barber? You have to build a relationship. Yep. That's what you remember.
You started collecting shoes, buying shoes, apparel, like before most people even knew what was going on.
Yeah, and now it's kind of like an addiction. It's like I'm still into the shoes and stuff like that, and then now I'm into something else. Like, you grow, and then you're like, oh, I just don't want to drink regular tequila. You're like, let me find something, and I guess it's like a thrill, kind of, you know. It's a lot to learn, but I'm liking it, you know. And I think tequila and whiskey are my thing.
Oh, me too, man. Those are my two favorite. And the crazy part is, like, growing up, like, somebody gave you tequila back in the day when we were younger, you know. It was like crack. It was like fucking Jose Cuervo, right? You take a shot of that shit and you just want to throw up, right? And then you think that's what tequila is. And now we're sitting drinking one of the finest tequilas in the world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you see the difference in the taste. You're just like, holy shit, this is what tequila should be.
It's true, because I used to hate tequila, and then as older I got, I started drinking different ones. Like, I would be like, no, I'm not going to drink tequila, and it gave me a bad experience, because you drink something really cheap.
Hand-blown glass, got a nice topper, spending that little extra money for the better topper.
Oh, yeah.
That also seals the product better to keep it from oxidizing.
My wife's big on cases. She likes stuff with cases. She's like, if the tequila doesn't come in a suitcase, I don't want it.
Presentation is very important.
Yeah.
You were also mentioning creativity just right now. And I think it's so fascinating to see creative people like you, who you've been you're launching your own shirt brand, you were in music, creativity in so many different ways. Now you have your barbershop, you do these events, but isn't it crazy how it's all full circle, where now some of the biggest hip-hop names in the industry, and you get the privilege of being their dude that they call up to get their haircut.
Yeah, that was crazy. I got an alley from my brother, and he works with, he's a bodyguard for artists and stuff like that. And once I got my chance, I started getting into it. Now I'm a personal barber for Logic, and that's been a great experience. Last week was my first time ever being out on tour, and I was on tour. I wasn't there for a month or anything. I was on there for maybe like half a week, and that was a dope experience. Like coming from me going in jail and having nothing to now being someone calling me to go cut their hair on tours. It was a highlight of my career, I guess, in barbering.
That's dope.
So that was dope.
It'd be a highlight in a lot of people's life to be able to sit down and have a 2-minute conversation with people like Logic.
I feel like even if I'm so successful in business and have a lot of money, I'm always gonna remember it started from the pair of clippers, allowing me to do certain things. I feel like same thing. You probably feel the same way with the liquor store, where the liquor store was a foundation for you to do events, and now you have you branching off, and now you're doing food in the food trucks. But it all started from there. If you didn't have the liquor store, you wouldn't be able to have the connections and the opportunities that you have now.
100%. And also, it's something that shapes you as an entrepreneur, right? I mean, you look at everything you've done, from the stuff that you did that was illegal, that you served your time, right? There must have been a lot of things that you've learned from even that stage of your life, through every single one of your entrepreneurial things that you did to make you who you are, that allow you to now be like, hey, the next step in my life, I want to create something on autopilot, something where without me exchanging time for money.
Yeah. And that's the biggest thing. I feel like some people are like, oh, you have a nice barbershop, or you made it, or you did. And I feel like I'm blessed, but I haven't made it. I'm not at a point where I still have to work. I'm still busting my ass. I'm working just like the guy who has no clients. Like I'm still here every day, and I always try to set an example to show everybody that I haven't made it. And I'm not too big for anything. I still work 7 days a week. I mean, the grind doesn't stop. And
I mean, we were here on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Right. Recording this on a Sunday. You were here this morning, and I commend you for this. You came in on a Sunday, busting your ass working, and then you still made time right afterwards and to go have lunch with your family.
Yeah, and I feel too, and that's a big thing. Like having a strong backbone. Like my wife has helped me through a lot of the stuff. Having a strong I mean, there's a lot. You could be in a relationship, and it takes a strong woman to deal with a busy person and hold down the fort while you do the other stuff. So I feel like that helps. And because when you have a business, it does take time from your family and the little man. So you have to have another partner, someone who understands you and picks up the slack when you're slacking.
So it's funny, going back to your point about having this experience and it igniting you to make you be like, nah, I need to take it to another level. Like I want to do this every day without having to think about it. Like you're talking about the restaurant, right? We went out there, we went to Greece recently, and everything was pretty expensive. But we went to this restaurant, and the people were like, hey, do you want to look at the menu before you enter? Because like my brother was wearing like oversized shorts and like a t-shirt, just chilling in his flip-flops, right? And my brother just looks at him. And it's funny, my brother, when you meet him, he's a character. He looked at him, he's like, I don't need to see no damn menu. We just rolled up, right? And I mean, and then we sat down, we saw the prices are like outrageous, but it was a fun experience. It was like a culinary, it was dope, But I mean, at the end of the day, we dropped $1,000, like $1,500, $2,000. It was a lot between I think 6 of us. It was a lot of money. But in dropping it afterwards, it's, even though to me, maybe it didn't equate the value of what I paid, but I would want to always be able to do that whenever I wanted to.
Yeah.
Just like you said, like I don't want to be I want to just go in first class.
Yeah.
And so then when I saw that quote once where somebody said, buy a ticket. Oh, Steve Harvey said this shit.
Yeah, that's why I seen a lot too, and it resonated with me too. Steve Harvey. I heard different people say it, but the recently Steve Harvey said it in a simpler form, and then I was like, it's true. Like a lot of people were saying that, and then I started thinking subconsciously I do that.
Yeah.
I didn't think in my head I see now subconsciously I do that now, and then next time you want to level up, and it's true, and I feel it's good because sometimes you don't. I think people you're working and you're making money and this and that. Sometimes it's not even the money. I think people, when you're an entrepreneur, you enjoy the chase.
Yes.
They don't understand. They're like, you make it. No, you enjoy the chase of leveling up. I get when I seen you open up the food truck, I wasn't like, oh, dang, that's cool. I was like, oh, damn, that's dope. Now Sky, I got high from it. You know what I'm saying? Like, dang, now I got to think of something else. You know what I'm saying? It's motivating. It's not like, oh, dang, I'm jealous of Sky. No, it's like, dang, he's dope. He's doing this. I want to see him succeed at that. Maybe I need to level up and do something, think outside the box. That's how I think, you know what I'm saying? And it's like a gift and a curse. Like I tell people sometimes I'll go into a spot and it's like a business mind, right? So I'll go into a spot and I look and my wife's like, oh, why are you so quiet? And I'm looking at the spot and I'm looking like, dang, if I go to a concert, I'm like, there's like 6,000 people. You're counting the money. You're already counting the money. So you're like, dang, this guy's making so much money. I'll be like, you're not even enjoying the concert. You're thinking about how much person made off the thing, because you're in your mind, it's like a game, it's a business thing. So you go and you try to do something better. You're learning it every time you go. If I go in another barbershop, I'm looking at, there's 8 chairs, he's probably charging this much. The rent, look, it's in it's a low income area, so he's not paying, this guy's probably making this much. That's how my brain works, and I feel like you do the same thing. It's like you're a computer where you're an entrepreneur, and it keeps going, same thing. Like in your mind, you went to that place in Greece and you're like, they're probably charging this 500% on this food that I'm buying, and you're thinking in your head, but you're still gonna buy it because you want to enjoy it. You're doing it for the experience.
Yeah, and you want to know, hey, why would people pay this much money for it? Because if I'm gonna sit over here paying, all these people out here are paying for it, like I gotta see what it's about and see if it's something that I would even be possibly interested in doing, you know? So you, with no matter what direction you decide you want to go in, it's a struggle.
It is a struggle.
And in all of your businesses, what has it been that, because I know as an entrepreneur, we always fucking run into a wall. There's always shit that happens. What's one time some crazy shit happened and what did you do to like overcome it?
After the clothing company, I started doing hats, and I thought of an idea to make patches. So I was getting patches designed, I was doing patches, and I was thinking about making a hat, and the hat would have Velcro on it, and then you buy the patches.
Oh shit!
And instead you could wear the same hat, but the
different
design,
patches.
you just wear the different patches. I got the patch machine. I started buying patches, and I got like a hat. I got a bunch of hats, and I got like an iron-on thing to make the hats, and I kept failing at it. And instead of me investing the money to do, what I really wanted to do, I was scared.
Holy shit, that was a fucking good idea. Oh, but take no idea, motherfucker.
I gave up on the hats. I gave up on the hats, and the guy came out with that idea.
Bro, I'm sitting over here still mind fucked right now.
Yeah.
I'm like, that sounds like a good idea.
It is a dope idea.
It's still a good idea.
It's still a good idea. You could do that, and that's and that was my thing, because someone's like, I don't want to. You buy a hat, you started buying all these different hats, and then you spend so much money. Imagine you buying one hat, buying patches for $5 or $6. You're just changing that.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. I've been enjoying this whole fucking time hanging out with you. Thanks for the dope lineup, the amazing time enjoying with great company. Learning more about you, sharing more about you. I want to know, I feel like everybody else, anyone who's an entrepreneur, has an entrepreneurial bone in their body, what are your top 5 tips you would give somebody that's about to be an entrepreneur or is an entrepreneur to take them from being good and great?
Number 1, you have to be obsessed. Number 2, patient. 3, creative. 4, you have to be able to take risk. And then 5, be able to take losses.
Honestly, what you said on number 5, I think is so fucking important.
Because everyone thinks that you have to be able to take a loss because you're gonna fail.
Yeah.
Like you hear all these top CEOs or someone who has a company. Look at the dumb ideas that they had. They're like, oh, I had this idea, didn't work. And you have to keep trying until one day it clicks. That's all it is. You have to keep trying, and then all you need is one to hit, and then it takes off from there. When that one hits, you learn from the experience from the one, and then you duplicate it and do the other one. And that's the struggle you have to go and get. Everyone keeps trying, like, oh, I'm gonna start a business and think it's gonna hit the first time. It's not. I failed in so many businesses. Like, I've had embarrassing stuff. I had stuff that went really good. I had stuff I should have stayed in longer, but that's
stayed
the part.
in longer. I think that's so interesting is that when you talk about the biggest success, they were failing, and they were about to fucking implode, explode, both at the same time. But the people that chose to stay on longer, they either exploded versus imploding.
The idea with the patches. The same thing. I thought it was a dope idea and I gave up on it. And then when I said it was like boom, you're like, man, I would have been all over that.
Wow.
That's kind of like the thing where I said to patience and staying in longer. Like, it goes hand to hand with stuff. People don't understand the patience is key, and then you sticking in there and doing the grind, but the grind is grueling. It makes you want to give up, and that's why I say you have to be obsessed.
Yep.
If you're not obsessed, you're not going to be good with something. You have to be obsessed with something.
You have to be so obsessed for the success.
Yeah.
For the success of the company that you're willing to pivot, make changes, and adjust things to fucking make it work.
Yeah. That's totally true. Because if you're not 110% in it, you're gonna get ran over by the next person, because everyone always thinks that they have this unique idea. Whatever you're thinking of, somebody's pretty much already thought of doing it. It's not that you have the same idea. You have to learn how to do it better than the other person. There's a million other barbershops. You have to make yourself separate. There's a million other liquor stores. Why do you think you started? Well, if everyone's going to go liquor store, if someone doesn't want to go liquor store, I'll start delivering. You have to think outside the box. It doesn't matter if you have the same idea as somebody. You just have to do the idea better. You know, you're not the first. You don't always have to be the first or the last person. You just have to do that thing better. That's it.
Straight up, man. Bro, it's been a blessing to have you on the show. Always good to hang out with you. Always nice to feel nice and clean, getting lined up. I just want to say thank you for your time. Thanks for sharing your story.
Thank you.
Because it's one of the most special stories out here in the 805. And thank you, brother. Appreciate what you're doing for our culture, for our community. And the 805 loves you, bro.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you for having me.
Thank you from the bottom of my heart for tuning in to Sippin' with Scott. Please don't forget to like, comment, share it with a friend, and subscribe. Also, you can follow us on Instagram at Sippin' with Scott. Cheers. We'll see you on the next one.